Beautiful garden on the first floor. Just taking a short walk from the U.S. Constitution, Old Ironside, over to Bunker Hill, which is the site of the first battle of the Revolutionary War.
We are walking on Boston neighborhood now. I like this neighborhood, and this is a tree with peace leaves. You can make a tea out of it. Tea, we call it in my language. And let's go up to see where was the first battle. This is the Bunker Hill Monument. Ben and my mom are going up.
Alright, so I just read a brief history here of Bunker Hill, and I'm going to see if I can tell you the story of it accurately. So in July 16, 1775, King George III dispatched 3 more generals here, or before that, but the 3 generals arrived in 1775. When the Americans saw them, they quickly built a fort, and then the next day when the British tried to come up the hill and take over the fort, the American forces turned them back twice, or the colonial forces at the time. And then on the 3rd surge, about 5:30 in the afternoon, the British finally took the hill. But the British generals had realized that their casualties they sustained were over 1,000 out of their 2,200 troops, and probably could not keep this area, which gave a lot of confidence to the local colonial soldiers. And that was the first battle of the Revolutionary War. Check out the old street lamps here in Charlestown, one of the sections of Boston by Bunker Hill. They're still the old gas powered with the little filaments inside, really cool.
I thought this is a church. It's very nice, but it's actually a Dollar Tree store.
Yeah, he's still kicking. He's still kicking. Yeah, he certainly did. Bobby Orr lost all the money he ever made in hockey because of his corrupt agent, Alan Eagleson, who ended up going to prison. Not Bobby, but the agent. Bobby rebuilt his rebuild. He never complained. He says, all right, I got to find something to do to make money. He works for big. It's a thing called Haymarket. Look on your left of the tents. Flowers, fruit, fish, and vegetables. Go do that. It goes every Friday and Saturday, year round. Dead of winter, the heat of summer, Haymarket. And all is where a movement began. The Sons of Liberty that I talked about earlier. Samuel Adams, Dr. Joseph Warren, Paul Revere, a lot of the big names are agitating. They're trying to push the public towards independence. This is where they rally at recruiting grounds. Now for the next several minutes, just to prepare you, you're going to have a lot of historic sites back to back to back. That's due to the size of old original Boston. It wasn't much bigger than a large farm. This is stop 6, and you guys look carefully, way down to the right, all the way down as far as you can see, shining in the sun. Statue of number 6 himself, the greatest Boston Celtic ever, Daniel Russell. The T is finally destroyed thanks to the kids who saved the day. But it's not the end of the story because there's no telephone, there's no internet back in those days. It's going to take 6 weeks before the king and parliament find out what's happened. That's it. You can't watch it on TV. It's not going to be on CNN. Didn't take away the tax, but at the price of DNA. That's just... he was nuts. They debated another 6 weeks. The word comes back, the port of Boston is closed. Boston works out arrangements with Salem north of the city.
Very traffic
15
in
miles
Boston
north of the
also,
city
like
to
every
reroute
other big
commercial traffic
city,
that way.
traffic
That
everywhere.
keeps Boston from stopping.
This pink.
This is the Rose Kennedy Greenway Park system on the left. It's a mile and a half long. Got Route 93 underneath us. Again, this is where they did the big dig. They removed the elevated and replaced it with a tunnel. And everybody was much happier after a lot of pain and suffering because that project went on and on and on. It was crazy. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, no, anybody would get. It would get anybody. It's so perfect.
Eso es un antique que hicieron eso, no es una casa.
Late fall of 1773. They know they're going to destroy it. They also already ahead of time picked out about 120 men who were going to do it. No. Sadly died a few years ago. Yeah, it was terrible. I know, I forget exactly what it was.
I got myself another soup.
E-mail cu rezultatele de la
Clam chowder soup with green soup. Yeah. Find the Christmas store in Boston. Let's go see what they have inside. And they have the gingerbread house and more on the second floor. So on this store everything is hot sauce. Salty dog, fresh seafood, fish and chips, lobster, oyster. Guys doing exercises. I wish I can do like he does. He just look at this dog. Wow. Geese.
Alright, we were going to go to the Isabella Garden and Museum with our Boston Go Pass. Unfortunately, the Boston Go Pass website didn't mention that you need a reservation for that garden. I'm not sure if that's always or just now due to COVID restrictions. So we took a quick look at Google Maps and we found a rose garden that we're going to go visit. And sort of in this big giant park that follows the Muddy River. Beautiful park. There's the rose garden. It is called the James Kelleher Rose Garden. So we're going to go check that out. I think this park is even bigger and they have some demonstration gardens and things like that. So might be happy we came down to this part of Boston anyways.
We are in the park. We are going to see the beautiful rose garden because Isabella gardens suck. We went there. We took an Uber to get to Isabella Park and we have a city pass ticket. But the city pass, even if you have the city pass ticket, you still have to make a reservation. and you go there and they said, sorry, I know we didn't tell you in the website you need a reservation and get a ticket, but you cannot go in, you have to come at the time. So let's go in the park to see the rose garden for free. Don't pay $20 to see Isabella because they suck. On the faraway building looks like it's a plane, but it's not. And if somebody knows what it is, because it's the second time I see something like that, please let me know. How are you doing, bad boy?
I'm trying to take some pictures of the roses.
Crying, I don't know why.
Fourth of July roses, what that was.
These flowers look like ranunculus.
Yeah, not the way they grow, but just the way they have a couple of petals.
Gemini.
Far away.
Gemini.
Thank you so much.
Gemini is my favorite.
Great, thank you.
First prize. This is the first prize. This cannot be the second prize because it's beautiful too. He called Olympiad.
Walking a little further into this larger park, we just passed the rose garden that we checked out. That was really cool. And they have war memorials here. Beautiful war memorial. In memory to the men and women of Boston who lost their lives in World War II. So this is the World War II monument. There's also a Vietnam monument over there and a Korea monument. Well, restoration going on for both the Vietnam and the Korean monuments.
Can I stay here? I listen.
More there.
Kristen and I are taking pictures of the garden here. Beautiful garden on the first floor. Lots of Renaissance statues and fountain. Some Roman. Absolutely beautiful building. This courtyard's amazing. One of the hallways just off to the side of the main courtyard on the first floor. More statues and brickwork from Europe and the Renaissance, and even earlier. Some of these look like they're from Roman times. Well, that's a neat piece of artwork. Section over here is called the Chinese room. Has artifacts and artwork from China. Looks like there's more downstairs, but it's currently closed right now. One of the art gallery rooms on the first floor. It's known as the Blue Room. This is the Yellow Room here. You can see a lot of these stone carvings are actually directly attached into the building as part of the architecture now. Something that they would never do today. Sort of interesting. They get the wallpaper lined up straight. I wonder if that was done after the building of the house. There's guides that you can download onto your phone to read more about all these paintings, and fortunately the internet isn't working very good right now and I can't get it to load. One of the many hallways here at the Isabella Museum and Garden. As you can see, many of these reliefs are actually connected directly onto the building. Something that they would never do nowadays, but it was very acceptable when this was built in the late 1800s, early 19, or I think 1890 to 19. Next gallery, this is the Blue Room here. Look like a little bit more modern paintings, but like I said, I don't have the information because I can't get my phone to work. So almost look like numbers on the edge, but I think they're just a design on the edge of the frame there. Yeah, there it is. See how dark some of these paintings have gotten from age and soot and dust. These are cool, a couple medieval statues. A knight on one side and a knight slaying a dragon, believe it or not. So, what's this? Library. Yeah, so this funny little room before you actually enter a different room. One of the many wash basins that they have here. Many of these are from Europe. It's one of the larger ones over here. This one looks like it's from Roman times or Greek, not sure. It's beautiful though. We're going up to the second floor here in the Isabella Museum and Garden.
But I didn't want to be late.
This entire place is covered with antiquities from Europe, Asia, all over the world. It's beautiful. This is the early Italian room. As you can see, most of these rooms have little scanners so you can see all the information about the artwork. I tried to do it earlier, but I wasn't getting a good enough signal for it to download. That's okay. Just to look at all the artwork is good for me. A rather impressive room with all the red wallpaper and tapestries. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh, these actually look more modern. Look like they're in perfect condition almost. Beautiful. In fact, I think they are more modern with these little sequins on them. More religious artwork. the many rooms here. This one, most of the walls are covered up in these beautifully large tapestries. Most of them look like they're from Europe, from before the 1800s, I would guess. And some of the artwork is just reliefs that were taken out of buildings in Europe and brought over here. This is definitely the largest of the galleries we've been in so far. It's known as the Tapestry Room. And for good reason. These are some very large tapestries on the wall. Some of them look to be about 20 feet by 20 feet. I'll tell you what, sometimes I'm really surprised by older artwork. I mean, on one hand, there's an angel in the painting, but then again, the guy is standing on some sort of demon with crazy duck feet, and there's another head of a demon hanging off of his sword. Some beautiful stained glass. I'm not sure how good the camera's picking it up. Let's see if we can get a little better angle on it. Beautiful little box. Looks like it's inlaid with mother of pearl. And a very little book next to it.